Had bullets fly by my head, but I've experienced freedom because of men who did. Forever thankful to every veteran's sacrifice. This is Vets and Coffee, the podcast. Finally, a podcast 100% about veterans. Looking at veterans making a difference in the veterans community. We'll help veterans and we'll spotlight veteran-owned businesses and businesses that support and hire veterans. Plus, guzzle down some amazing coffee. Welcome to Vets and Coffee, the podcast. Now your host, Tree McLean.
Hey, how y'all doing today? It's 10:38 p.m. Monday night. Let's get this cut off here right quick. So today we went out to pre-record 2 episodes of the podcast with Ricky Cruz of HTX Fight Camp and Hector Giron. Had a bit of a technical difficulty. Yes, I did. I hope this one's working. I'm pretty sure it is. So a little glitch in the system. I thought once I adjusted it, it'd be fixed, but it wasn't. Every time I go to record a podcast, I'm going to have to make this adjustment. Just something I got to remember from now on. So just to go over some things today, I am going to have a audio podcast of today's shows on iHeartRadio, Apple Pod, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, and Google Podcasts tomorrow at 9 a.m. Those will come out. As for video, it's just going to be this. So just so I can go over a few things that Ricky went over with me today. Ricky Cruz was went in the Army as an enlisted man, 3rd Infantry Division. And what's interesting, his father's a Vietnam veteran, and he's 3rd Infantry as well. So after a while, Ricky went on into going to college and was in the reserves and got his degree and so forth in physical fitness and so forth, and became an officer because he wanted to lead. And after 10 years of service, he got out, and mainly because of physical issues with his knees and everything else, medical issues and so forth, he was kind of forced out, and he went in the private sector. And then after working for a waste management company, he got out and started his own fitness company. I remember when he started in his garage, and he just moved up from there. And now he's got a 9,000 square foot building in Houston. It's a really nice place. That's his website. If you want to sign up for a free class, that's him and his wife, April Cruz. And they had to do personal training and so forth, but their main thing is boxing fitness. That you get a lot out of boxing and so forth. I'm going to start getting into it once I'm released from my doctor from wound care. I'm going to start training with them as well. So it's a really neat program they have. And today they made the announcement today that they are opening up a second location in Round Rock, Texas. It's the HTX Fight Camp, Austin, Texas Fight Camp. It's going to be located in Round Rock, Texas. And they've got a 2,500 square foot facility they're just going to open up. And that's going to start in August. So they've been working on it pretty hard for about 6 weeks now. Going up there every weekend and working and painting and so forth. Excuse me. But that's coming along. Also, he also let people know that if you're a veteran and or a federal employee and you want to work out at his facility, it's 20% off for veterans. So you can go to his website at HTX Fight Camp, fill out that little form right there, and Ricky will get it. Ricky handles all the social media stuff. He's always on social media, on Instagram and so forth, boxing. I do one-on-one boxing and so forth. Really neat stuff. He let me know today that he's going to be training a college football team. I can't say who or what, because he's got to get approval from the NCAA if he can even say it. But yeah, he's doing real good, and he's going to be training those guys. So looking forward to that. We're going to do we're going to be holding our podcast at his fight camp, which is close to the house. He's actually my neighbor. It's located over off of West 34th Street between North Shepherd and Brinkman, or North Shepherd and Ella Boulevard, just north of the 610 loop. And we're going to be having our podcast from his facility, recording there. So we'll have some guests over there. But then again, I'll also be traveling around to different locations and filming there as well. So that's what we're going to be doing with HTX Fight Camp. So he's got a really nice facility out there, and they love my coffee. In fact, I make coffee for them as well. They have a HTX Fight Camp coffee they sell there at their facility. They all love it over there. So that's about it for them. We will be filming again over there really soon and do another podcast. This week, I'm going out to Houston Canine Academy, and I'll be visiting with the owners. And it's a husband and wife. They're both Army veterans. I believe they're Army veterans, military police canine handlers, and they own the Houston Canine Academy, where they train police canines. And I've known them for a good couple of years now. So we'll be going out there to interview them, and they're going to help me work with Bailey. I'm actually having a problem with Bailey and getting her to bark on command. And so they're going to help me out with that, which will be a great help. So that's going to be, that'll be on the Sunday night episode coming up next Sunday. So let me go on and talk about my other guests I had today. So let me get rid of this and make up some changes here real quick. And I'll show you what also I have here. Let me find it real quick. I went out today, had to post 654 American Legion Hall over on Campbell Road, and met up with Hector Giron. That's him in the picture there, next to the World War II veteran. And that World War II veteran, he was at the Texans game, and they gave him the football and everything in the middle of the game and so forth. Really neat thing. But that's one of his World War II veterans that's going to be going on this new trip to New Orleans coming up. But Hector is my 2017 Patriot Knife Volunteer of the Year. And if you're not familiar with the Patriot Knife, it's a knife I built for 15 years. I built 411 of them, all donated or awarded individuals that go above and beyond. And Hector is a recipient of a Patriot Knife, along with many others. I had to give up building knives because of my disability. You can't really sit down and build knives. It's really hard. It's actually dangerous because of the grinder and the polishers grabbing a knife and flipping it out of your hand. It's just safer to be standing up while doing so. And because of my disability, I can't stand up that well. My feet are getting bad. My legs are getting bad. And I was told a long time ago I'd probably lose a leg or two. I'm probably getting closer to that. I'm not diabetic. I just have really poor circulation in my legs, and I have neuropathy. I've been dealing with a lot of pain all my life. So I always try to find things to keep me busy, keep my mind off of pain. Knives and doing custom leather work has done wonders for me for the years, but it really breaks my heart not being able to build knives anymore and donate them and so forth. So that's why I'm doing this podcast, to keep me going. And my coffee as well, too, because during COVID, no one needed knives because no one had fundraisers. That's why I started the coffee business, to try to help out different organizations. And the coffee kind of blew up in my face. And it's doing really well, actually. I have two lines. I have Patriot Knife Coffee. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a discount code podcast. You can save 20% off your order by using the podcast as a discount code. I also have one I named after my service dog Bailey, called Bailey's Brew, and that's Bailey'sBrewCoffee.com. You can go to her website and use the discount code BARC, BARC, which is one of the shelters that Bailey's Brew Coffee helps out. All my coffee benefits different organizations and helps out, which I like to do. Keeps me happy. I'd rather, help people than make $1 million. Giving is, to me, has always been the best medicine. I used to tell people that I had an addiction due to all the pain I have, and they say, "Oh, pain medicine." And I say, "No, giving. I'm addicted to giving because it feels so good when you donate a knife and it sells at auction for $9,000, and they turn around and donate it back, and they raise another $9,500 with it." That happened at a veteran fundraiser. They raised $18,500 off of one of my knives. I've had knives go for $12,000, $8,000, $6,000, bunch of them for $2,500. So it's been a really good ride. Those Patriot knives. I mean, I love doing that. I'm gonna miss it. I'd love to find someone to continue making them. I still have 5 I'm working on. A couple people know who they're getting. They're getting them. It's just taking some time to get them done because I just can't stand up long enough to do it. I just was in the hospital over a little month ago with another infection in my leg, a lot of swelling, and my leg kind of blew up on me. And I have another open sore in my leg, so I'm having to go to wound care once a week for that. In fact, I'm doing that tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'd probably do a live broadcast tomorrow, but I'll be in the wound care center. So, real quick, let's get back to Hector Giron. There he is right there. The reason I wanted to talk to Hector today is he's got his World War II trip coming up where he takes World War II veterans to New Orleans, and they go for the weekend. They stay 2 nights, Friday, Saturday night, all expense paid. They go to a huge museum over there in New Orleans. They have the best of meals. So if you know a World War II veteran that's mobile and get around still, that person and a family member can go with Hector and their bunch on a bus. Houston, I believe, I don't know what police department it is, but they're escorted all the way to New Orleans in the buses. Great deal. They had a blast last year. Not many went due to COVID, and they had a hurricane approaching Louisiana last year. But they still went. They still had a great time. I think about 5 veterans went last year. Some of those are going again this year. They got some new ones coming up. In fact, Hector, I don't know if you know him or not, but if you follow him on social media, he's constantly giving away Astro tickets. Yes, he gets a ton of free stuff, but he works hard. He does a lot of good in the community. But he gets free tickets to the Astro games all the time, the Texans games and Dynamo games, and he's always just giving away. And every time he gives away Astro tickets, they highlight the veterans that they're going. And this Thursday night, they got a doubleheader game, I believe, and they are going to have 2 World War II veterans going, and they're going to highlight those 2. And they'll be on the trip going to New Orleans this year. Hector's a heck of a great guy. He served in the Navy, went in 2005 and stayed in there for 10 years. He actually built bombs. He worked off the Enterprise. After he got out, he continued to serve those who serve us, which is a big plus in my book. I've been following him for many years on social media, and he's just been working his butt off to help out others. I call him the mayor of Spring Branch, not Spring Branch, Texas, the community in Houston called Spring Branch, the Long Point area and everything. I call him the mayor of Spring Branch because he does a lot in that community, and not just for veterans either. He does a lot for the families over there as well. They do toy drives. They give away tons of Christmas toys to children of veterans and other children in that area. They have food drives, food giveaways, and so forth. Just an outstanding guy. He also wanted to announce his new role today. He's been voted in as the new commander at the post 654 of the American Legion post over there on Campbell Road, and he kind of had his inauguration party tonight over there. So he's a new commander over there, and I was over there today, and they already started painting inside. It's like, hey, what are these Navy colors? The walls are all gray and white. So, but they're cleaning up the place, and he also helped out at the VFW post on Foley Street, which is over in Spring Branch. Got that all cleaned up when he was over there, and in fact, That post is in Kansas right now. They just received an award again for like outstanding service. RG, what's RG's last name? Relis, I think his name is. Army veteran. He's a commander over there. He's kicking butt over there. He's doing a heck of a good job. I'll probably have him on the podcast one day. He was first team, yeah. So I'll have him on. He's a really good guy. So back to Mr. Hector. Besides a new role, he's still looking for sponsors for this trip to Louisiana. The Texas VFW Commission organization actually gave them $10,000 already towards this trip. And then local VFWs got together and they gave him another $5,000. So he's got $15,000 and he's working on getting another 10. And he's gotten some private donations. KP Restaurant over on I-10 in the Spring Branch area, they had a all-day deal where they gave 10% of their sales for that day to the fund. And then, like last night, they had a bingo game for the fundraiser and so forth. But if you want to help them out, look up Hector Giron on Facebook, or you can contact me and I'll hook you up directly with the guy if you want to make a donation and help him out to take those World War II veterans to Louisiana. He would greatly appreciate that. And also, in talking with Hector today, we are going to have a really neat podcast coming up. I don't know about you, but my favorite thing to do is to talk to senior citizens. And not people my age, people older than me. Yeah, I've already gotten a few comments on that. But we're going to have some of the World War II veterans on the podcast, so we can hear some of their funny stories and some stories they had from while they were serving, and because those guys have the best stories there is, of the military service. So we're going to have them on the show coming up. We're going to do that probably sometime in August before they take off to Louisiana, and we'll have them on again and have Hector on again, but we're going to do that as well. So that'll be a good show. It'll be a really good show. Hector will be on there as well. So Hector and I, we laughed the whole time we're together. He's a heck of a good guy. I even brought up something today with him, and he gets a lot of flack for it, and it pisses me off. Haters. A lot of people hate on him because he gets so much free stuff. He gets free meals, he gets free hotel stays. He got a free trip to Corpus Christi this past weekend for a fishing trip with a Warriors benefit of some sort. And they paid for his family to go down to Corpus Christi, paid him for hotel room meals, let him go fishing and everything, had a weekend for him and his family. They had a great time. And if you're mad because he's getting this stuff for free, you're just jealous, because this guy works his butt off and does a lot for the community, and he deserves it. He really does. He is outstanding. He's an outstanding citizen. He really is. And he deserves everything he gets. When I was having the runoff for Patriot Knife Volunteer of the Year, I had a competition years ago. And I had actually people calling me up and saying, oh, you don't want Hector, he drank too much in the Navy, or did this too much, or did that, and I'm like, something, I don't care what he did in the Navy. What I care about now is what he's doing now to continue to serve those who serve us. And he's doing one heck of a job helping out people. I love the guy dearly. He's awesome. He does so much. He does so much to help out his brothers and sisters. He's just an amazing guy. He's got a great family, great wife, great kids, So don't hate on him. Love him for what he does. He's a great guy. So I'm going to call it a night. And I'm sorry that I screwed up the videos. It's just my second one. But I'll get it down pat. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to keep me busy and so forth. I'm going to have Jeff Gonzalez on soon. If you don't know him, he's with the Lone Star Warrior Outpost. Really cool guy. I'm going to have my buddy Raul Marino from Charlie Mike Apparel, Charlie Mike Military Apparel, and Charlie Mike the Podcast. He's going to be on soon. He's a good guy. So we'll be doing that real soon. Also, if you're interested in going to the American Legion Post 654, here's their address real quick. If you're interested in signing up with them and getting involved and working with Hector, it'd be a good thing to do. You know, he's got a great young crowd over there. He's working with them over there. So if you're interested in doing that, you can do that. Here's the HTX Fight Camp website if you missed that earlier. Also, we have the Charlie Mike Apparel website. And last but not least, an organization that I've been working with. We had a food drive for them, and we took them $2,500 worth of food a while back. And that's Camp Valor out in Montgomery County, out in Conroe. It's the Birdwell Foundation. I'm sure you've probably heard of him before. He had a lot to do with Camp Hope. And now he started Camp Valor. And I like it. I went out there, and it's a really homey place. It sits on 9 acres. They've got a big 2-story house, swimming pool, fishing pond. And they've got a couple extra buildings they just put on the property, and they hooked up septic system and water too, so they can house more veterans. They've got a large barbecue pit donated, big trailer rig donated, and we're going to be working on doing a cook-off of some sort and to raise more money for them by raffling off that barbecue pit and raffling off a gun and a cooler for sausage and so forth. So I'll be doing a broadcast with them soon as well. So with probably John Bailey. He's a Vietnam veteran that's working out there now. He's a really good guy. So we'll be going out there too. Also, I mentioned if you haven't been, you need to go. Going on a little road trip up to Huntsville. I know gas is high, but it's worthwhile going. Head on up 45 North and right next door to the prison rodeo museum in Huntsville. You'll see helicopters and tanks and everything. You'll see a great big wall over there. And that wall is the 80% size of the Vietnam Wall that's permanently mounted out there. So if you've never been to the Vietnam Wall in D.C., you can still see when it's 80% of the size located there in the back. And then when you go inside, they've got a huge air-conditioned facility you can walk all through and see all the branches and old uniforms and old photos and just really neat stuff. There's one section of it it's tough to go in. I think it's haunted, actually. I mean, your hair will raise up on your arms and the back of your neck when you go in there. It's in the back left corner in the back. It's tough. But it's a really neat facility to go to. Go up there one weekend. They got a little gift shop up there. They got really neat keychains and so forth. And hey, they even sell my coffee. That's right. They sell Patriot Knife coffee. They got it right there. Yeah. So they got a bunch of my new blends. They're going to have all my new blends up there. I got my E4 Mafia blend. I've got my 100% rating blend. I've got my Butter Bar blend. I've got I got some other military blends. Oh yeah, my new Scuttlebutt Bubbling Brew. Hector had a little part in that, along with some other Navy veterans like Jeremy Spencer. I asked a bunch of Navy veterans. I said, "Hey, give me one word that all Navy veterans know," and they all gave me a list of names and words and so forth, and they all said the same word, which is scuttlebutt. So I named my coconut blend Scuttlebutt Bubbling Brew. And so for you Navy guys that think I don't care about you, I got a coffee just for y'all, and it's good too. It's a coconut blend with a bean from Honduras. I know the family; that's from Honduras. It's 100% organic, and it is some good stuff. It really is. I got another blend I came out with called Marty's Mountain, and that's going to be a whole other story. I'll be interviewing Marty's mom, She's a good friend of mine, and created a blend named after Marty, and it benefits Camp Valor, actually. So I actually give coffee to Camp Valor. I send them 5-pound bags of their own blend. They have the Camp Valor Freedom Roast Coffee I did for them, and they're the only ones that get it. Well, I'm selling it too now, but it benefits them as well. So anytime you buy a bag of coffee, you're actually putting coffee in those guys for those guys to drink. So if you go to Marty's Mountain on my website, you'll see it's a straight bourbon blend. And there's a story in there about Marty. I knew Marty before he went in the military and so forth, but he's no longer with us, but neat guy. But that's about it. All right, y'all. Have a great night. This will be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I'm sorry once again about the glitch. It happens. I'm learning still. I got a laugh earlier. I turned on the mic. And I got these new dynamic mics that pick up all the noise around me. And I could hear Bailey's heartbeat. She had her head rested on the leg of the table. And I could clearly hear her heartbeat. I was like, what the heck is that? And I looked at her, and her head was leaning up against the leg of the table. And it was just dum, 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 dum. So, hey, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to doing this, So, thanks again for watching. And once again, I apologize for the glitch I had. And hopefully that won't happen again. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Good night. Just also one more thing. Please never let them be forgotten.
You've been listening to Vets and Coffee, the podcast. As you can see, veterans and coffee are Tree's passions, and we want to make a difference in the veterans community. And with your help and continued listenership, we'll do exactly that. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. See you next time on Vets and Coffee, the podcast.